Crafting. Hey there, Delilah. Okay. I know an umbrella is bad luck. I don't know if a parasol is bad luck. Welcome back to my channel. Why do I look so pretty, you may ask? No reason. I don't have anywhere to go. I'm very bored, very lonely. I think that in this time of great need, human beings need something to do. We can't go to the grocery store. We can't volunteer at the homeless shelters. We can't get drunk downtown and get in a fight with a parking meter. My heck, we can't even go to a park without someone glaring at us for not wearing a face mask. But face masks are unfashionable. It looks like a plastic bag flew into your face, and you were just too lazy to take it off. And so I feel in this great time of struggle and need, it's important to keep us active and busy. And so I've decided to show you 3 crafts which you can do by yourself, at home, with minimal expense, except to your dignity. I think in this world of minimal fashion sense and plain black dresses, yes, I'm looking at you, Audrey Hepburn, there's a real need to flare up your style. Specifically if you have an egg-shaped head. Yes, at the mention of egg head, you might be thinking of Queen Elizabeth herself. Well, aren't you in luck today? That's right, we're going to make an Elizabethan headpiece to frame that egg-shaped head of yours. You didn't seem excited, what the fuck? If you know anything about me and my other crafts, you'll know that this is going to be made out of garbage. Mostly this kind of garbage. That's right, some grade A Amazon lifeblood. Cardboard. For this craft, you will need cardboard, crafting wire, fabrics of multiple types, scissors, that knife thing that they use to take over the planes on, box cutter, and just a bunch of decoration, hot glue gun, marker. Now cut out the shape of an M or a very crudely and frantically drawn Batman symbol. Now cut that out with your appropriately named box cutter and put a piece of cardboard under it so your boyfriend doesn't yell at you for cutting up the carpet again. Once done, you should be left with something that looks a little like a seagull in a Bob Ross beach painting. Okay, so we have cut out, oh, a little very aggressive mustache. Or like, we do anime brows too. What we're going to do is we're going to bend this like so. We're just going to bend the wings of it up so that it will sit on our head like this. Costume change. That's kind of the shape that we want. That looks nice. Perfect. I'm going to cut off a little more just to shape it to my head so it fits perfectly, and then we're ready to move on to the next piece. That is perfect. That is exactly what I want. It has a good flow. It's standing pretty much straight up. And look at that Valentine heart point. Honestly, this is so much guesswork. It's just slicing and dicing until it fits on your head like a... To avoid making this look like I have a pair of Mickey Mouse ears on my head, and based on the design that I'm following on Pinterest, we're gonna do a second piece right across the top. Use the front piece as a guide for the back piece. This should fit your head pretty much perfectly and also come to a point at the top. Okay, so here's a very important step that I did not show on camera, but I can just tell you because it's super easy and I hope you'll be able to get it. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue a piece of crafting wire all along the back edge of the headpiece. Now what this does is it gives it structure and integrity, and you really want that structure and integrity. Because here's the thing, you don't get to be the level of Queen Elizabeth headpiece if you don't have strength and integrity. Okay, if you're a liar, if you cheat on your taxes, I don't think so. Not sitting on that egghead. She doesn't want you. Say goodbye. It's really fitting for me to be making a Queen Elizabeth headpiece, seeing that I am more bald than she was. The following is a public service announcement brought to you by the Confused Drag Queens for a Better America. Okay, before we go any further in this video, I have to talk about this. I have been watching Hotel Hell, Kitchen Nightmares, all of Gordon Ramsay's shows. But what I've noticed is that this man with a carved wood face, I think he's written it into his contract that he has to be naked at least once in every episode. Has anyone else noticed this? Is this just me? I need to, okay, hold on. Okay, so this is Hotel Hell. And there he is. Naked. Just because he can. And watch this, ready? Gordon butt. Oh my god, and here's another one. This is the next episode. And there he goes, again. Oh look, guess where we're at? Oh, look it, again! Like, why? Does he consider himself a sex symbol? There's no conceivable reason why he would need to get naked every single time. And here's this one from Kitchen Nightmares. This is his other show, where he has to take his shirt off. I'm not kidding. Every single episode, this man has to remove his shirt. Here's another episode. Kitchen Nightmares. Like, What? This is not necessary to the plot. And yes, I do recognize the irony of me saying that while I'm putting this in the middle of a crafting video. And guess what? Another one. Shane.
Are you filming yourself complaining about Gordon Ramsay?
I'm absolutely filming myself complaining. No, come back. You have to see this. He just keeps taking off his shirt. Like, what the fuck? Like, am I going nuts? Like, what is the point? What is the point of this man? Taking off, like... I think, what, he was maybe, like, in his late 30s in this? He looks like he has the body of a 70-year-old man. Like a 70-year-old fit man, but still a 70-year-old man. It's like his body was carved out of beechwood. Now back to our regularly scheduled craft. Now we're gonna match this up and see how this all works together. It's not terrible, but I do want to work with that a little bit. This is what I'm going for. If you can see 2 little McDonald's arches and then a little bit on top. And I found myself there, lying on the floor, sniffing in the essence of the carpet. Its prickle against my skin a stoic reminder of the happiness that I once felt, but could no longer feel. I have to get up, I thought. The crafts are waiting. The only thing that matter anymore. The crafts. So I made a foolish mistake. Let this be a warning to you. Do not bend this to the shape of your head after you put the wire on, but before you glue on fabric, because it just makes it a pain in the behind. I look like a villain in an anime. After role-playing as a Dragon Ball Z character for a couple minutes, hot glue your fabric down over what will be the front of your headpiece. Glue a short seam to the back, but keep in mind it does not have to cover the entire back right now. Now's a good time to check on your significant other and see what kind of mad science experiments they're getting up to. Okay, so wow, I just went to get another glue stick, and something terrible happened. Shane, what kind of science project would you describe is going on right here?
I don't want to talk.
Okay. Well, from what I understand, you're trying to get that piece to send all of its Scientology fetins to that piece. Am I right?
That doesn't sound right. No.
Okay. How would you describe the consistency of that water? I would say like kidney disease urine. This lamp does not fit with anything else in the room, I know, and it drives my boyfriend crazy, but it is too beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Casts a red glow across the room. So I've covered the front part of the back piece, but I have to cover the back part of the back piece because, excuse me, because here's the thing. We are not going to see much, we are not going, why is this so hard to hold? We are not going to see the back part of this piece, so it's not as important. This one, we will. So this is the most important of the two. I'm just kidding, I love you more, but don't tell your brother. Okay, so the battery on my camera has passed along to the great technological yonder, meaning my battery died. But I will not let that get me down, because my motivation for this project is what? Through the roof. Because I will not be stopped by the angry hand of technology, because in the words of Queen Elizabeth herself, waddly-acha, doodly-doo, doodly-doo. It's the simplest thing, there's nothing much to it. All you've got to do is doodly do it. So I realized it was perhaps a bad idea to use blue fabric against a blue background. Actually, yeah. Also, I should mention I'm sitting in my Kirkland brand dog bed, and this thing is shockingly comfortable. Now glue it down. So what I've done, ow, ooh, that was hot glue on my ear. So I just glued the back piece to the front piece, and that's where we are. Okay, I'm happy with how this looks for the most part. It's a little smaller than I would have liked, but it's so graceful. And plus the dress I'm gonna wear it with is like ornate, you'll see. And so this feels and looks pretty good. But honestly, you can make it as big or small as you want because I made this thing a while ago and this thing is huge. So as you can see, it's catching some of my bald head through the cracks. We're gonna solve that with decoration. I thought that this would need maybe some wire around the back of my head to stay steady, but it is actually pretty sturdy at the moment. But don't worry, we're gonna fix that with a lot of heavy decoration. I have plenty of options available to me. I have a bunch of these black stones which catch light beautifully, so that's going on. I know that I'm definitely going to use a lot of black lace. All right, let's jazz it up, baby. Okay, this is very strange, and I don't really know how to say this, but this fabric smells a little like well, kidney disease urine. But you know what? You're not smelling it, and I'm going to be the only one who has to, and people who are close to me. Luckily, we're all in quarantine, so. But I promptly decided I was not going to be in quarantine anymore, and I went for a walk where I found this park. Hey, quit horsing around. Well, I found my alcohol. Okay, so this is where we're at. I love the lace. I think that adds such beautiful dimension. You can see the layers. Now we could stop there, honestly. It is beautiful enough. But if you know anything about me, and if you know anything about drag culture, more is always more. And so, I like to weigh my headdresses down to the point where if they fall, someone's injured. Disclaimer, nuh-uh. I'm a walking liability. I glued a black rope border around all the edges just to cover up all the mistakes and make it look nice. Now, because I'm working with some black lace and stuff, you can see that the glue is kind of showing in a big way. But depending on what you're going to use, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And plus, there's always stuff you can do. You can see I got some glue here. I'm just gonna cover that up right there. It's perfect. Funny story, I once made a headdress out of aluminum cans, and I accidentally took out the eyes of one of the audience members. But I mean, good news is I never went to jail because, you know, she couldn't identify me because she couldn't see me. So a paint chip has fallen off of my wall, like, it just fell off. How does that happen? So we're just gonna fix that up. Why is my sink dripping? Perfect. What is going on? This is not something that I'm willing or able to fix, so. Okay, so she's done. She's happy. She's, ooh, she's pretty. And here's the weirdest part. Whenever I'm in drag, like, I know how Queen Elizabeth must have felt when she sunk the Spanish ships. This one, obviously not this one. Which is weird because I'm a fully bearded man in his late 20s, but, you know, I can still feel queenly. Look at that bejeweled fabric cardboard on top of an egg. Okay, I don't know if this is true, but from what I understand, Queen Elizabeth had an autoimmune disorder that made her hair rise up. Okay, so I just looked into it, and no, actually. Queen Elizabeth poisoned herself to death through lead toxicity due to the heavy lead content in the makeup that she wore every day, which subsequently led to hair loss as well. On that note, it's actually believed that lead poisoning is what made the Roman Emperor Caligula so crazy, which was caused by the defruitation process of Roman wine at the time in these giant lead cauldrons. My, wasn't that fun? With the plagues rising from the oceans and very little alcohol to quell our quavering need for it, I've decided to teach you how to make a mask. Not just any mask, one for your face. Okay, so here's what you're gonna need. Fabric, ribbon, scissors, sewing machine. Not throwing that one. To start your pint-sized germ jetty, cut out a piece of cloth roughly the size of a hamster. You should be able to do this with it. Okay, so we have all 4 pieces of the straps that will go around our ear, and we have the big beautiful piece that goes around our mouth and nose. I have seen people walking around everywhere with the mask just covering their mouth and not their nose, and that is not how this is done. Now sew the ribbons to the 4 corners. Okay, if I move my mouth too much, it will fall off my face, but other than that, I think this looks good, and it was so easy. Can you even hear me underneath this thing? In fact, it was a little too easy, so we're gonna make another one, but this one is gonna be bigger. I'm very worried about my car. I cannot afford to have it get sick, and I certainly can't afford to take it to a mechanic, otherwise known as a car doctor. So we're gonna do our best to keep it safe and healthy. Keep its transmission purring. I don't know anything about cars. Now do the exact same thing, but bigger, much bigger, like dump truck size. Okay, we got mother and baby. Now I know I got a 50-50 chance. Oh, ow, ooh. Oh, that tugs on my ears. Ah, what a way to be nominally safe and look decent. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you been admiring my necklace this whole time? Well, you're in luck! Next on the list, I'm gonna teach you how to make something kind of like this, but maybe less aggressive, because this is really like, pointing right at the cleavage, you know? Okay, so this is going to be a fabric necklace. I'll usually, for my outfits, I'll create a necklace to go with it out of the same fabric, because I'll always have leftovers somehow. And this one is for a lovely little dress here, which by the way got me 5,000 upvotes on r/sewing, which, woo! But this necklace is super easy to make, it's really pretty, it's really easy to embellish, and it also matches my outfit. So win, 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 win. Huzzah! Doesn't it look so much better when it's not blue fabric against a blue background? Now cut out the fabric a little wider than the size of your neck. From there you'll cut a point into the middle and then flip it over, tracing it and cutting it out on the opposite side. You should be left with something that looks like this, and then you're going to flip it inside out. Now go ahead and sew along the length of it, but remember to keep the ends open because we're going to need them later. Now flip it inside out, and honestly I'm embarrassed how long it took me to flip this thing inside out. Like, I could have watched Gone with the Wind in that time. I could have made Gone with the Wind. Okay, so it is flipped inside out after much work. But here's the cool part about this particular necklace. It's reversible. Yes, because of the way the fabric is, it just managed to end up looking like that, which I am happy with. Now curl the outer edges in and try and fit in the ribbon as best as possible. What?
Okay.
What happened?
There's just super glue sitting on the toilet.
Oh, I have no idea why that is.
Just gotta fix that up.
And then sew those gosh darn ribbons right on there. Da 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 da! Isn't that just horrible, honestly? Okay, so I purchased this at a thrift store a while ago and always thought, like, what am I gonna use this for? It's so... I mean, it is ugly even by my standards, which is something. Look at this thing. Look at this weird molded plastic gem in the middle. It looks like a tomato that's been sitting in a frying pan too long. It looks like an elderly bald man's head. I'm a glutton for problematic jewelry. Who called Mama? Crap. Oh my god, it's raining. Crap. Oh my god. Okay, let's take that up. Oh, that's... Okay, those are slightly more uncomfortable than I would have liked, so maybe don't try that one. The one for the car, though, I'm pretty sure is gonna change lives. Thank you for joining me for Crafting with Jodie. I hope you learned just about as much as I did, because I had no idea what I was doing. I love this. I think this turned out so beautifully. Like, this was the gem of the video. The mask was kind of a... like, anyone can do that. I don't care what anyone says. Hospital masks do not look good. They just don't. I don't care if you believe so, Billie Eilish. Eilish. I don't care what you say, lady. And my necklace is such a simple way to create something beautiful. You know, really, it can be as complicated as you want it to be. It can be as graceful as you want it to be. And it's so easy. And, you know, zhuzh it up if you want. Glue some rhinestones to it. Tie Barbie doll by the hair, hang them from it. I don't care what you do. Anyway, I want to see pictures of what you make and what you can create. Print out a picture, staple it to a carrier pigeon, throw it out the window, and I'm sure I'll have it by morning. So my boyfriend has been baking what he calls desiccant, and I'm thinking this color would be beautiful for a headdress. Desiccant? More like Des I can.